welcome back to the garage. You're watching RC Fun&Games and I'm Ryan. Today we are going to continue customizing the awesome Traxxas TRX4M K10. We have got some rock rolling lights and some inner fenders to fit to this awesome pickup. But before I do that, I just wanted to apologize for not posting content at the moment. But between the heat and my health, I have just not been able to get stuck in and do anything. I was going to work on some features outside on the course, but my health has really let me down miserably. So I'll have to do that in a few days when my health picks up to 100%. At the moment, let's get stuck in fitting these crawling lights and these inner fenders that I found on AliExpress. Comes in a really nice box, which I'm sure I could use for other things in the future. But there you are. They are 3D printed inner fenders by the looks of it. Now, let's see what else it comes with, because this is the reason I bought these inner fenders. So the reason I took these inner fenders is because they came with these metal plates, and I thought that would look really cool on this pickup, as I've already got the metal tray in the back and metal bumpers and everything. It will just go with the truck. So let's just get this open and see exactly what do we get in this packet. Okay, so as we can see, these grills look really cool. Once again, they are made by djcrawler. So another awesome little custom part that you can buy for your K10 is this, and I think this is going to finish off the truck really, really nicely. Let's just put these in there. Of course, we get all the hardware needed to do the installation. The inner fenders, now that we've got the camera closer up, you can tell it comes with the holes to take your crawling lights. Another reason why I took it. So far, I have not been disappointed with any of the 3D parts I've ordered from AliExpress. They've all been good quality and they seem to fit quite well. Now, I also picked this up with a set of crawling lights, which is also from djcrawler, and it should be an easy fit. So let's just get this packet open and see exactly what do we get in this one. So we get our lenses, which are going to go in there. We get the LEDs, and they are big LEDs, so they're going to be quite bright. And of course, with the lenses, you also get the hardware. And then in here, you've got the cups that hold it in place. So as you can see, they've also been 3D printed. They look good in my opinion. They'll block most of the light coming up, so they won't go into the body. I think this is going to be an awesome extra feature to the pickup. So let's get stuck in installing all this. And at the end, I'll have to take it out for a bit of a night crawl so we can see how these lights work and if they actually light up for a person to crawl, for example, on my course when it's pitch black dark. Anyway, let's get stuck in doing this installation because I've been looking forward to this for a while. Okay, so let's get started by fitting these metal plates to the inner fenders before we throw them on the truck. So let's get these metal plates fitted to the inner fenders before we fit the inner fenders to the truck. Now, if you look carefully on each plate, it does tell you left front, and for example, this one here says left rear. So I'm going to grab this one being for the left side on that side of the truck. Okay, so we then going to have to bend these pieces on the plates. They do come with marks, but they're quite wide. So we're going to have to check out exactly where do we need to bend them. But I think they bend to the shape of the roundness. So let's bend this one upwards. Now we need to bend this side. Okay, it's not bad, but the holes aren't lining up yet. So now that I've given that a little bit more of a bend, let's see if our holes are lining up. That's better. Okay, so as you can see, now we've got our holes lined up, so let's get our screws in, and that should hold all this in the right place. So let's get started getting the screws in. Okay, so I'm going to start right here in the center. Okay, so as you can see, this really fits nicely. The sizes are perfect so far, and everything sits down nice and flush. So at the moment, I'm really happy with the product, and it's looking like it's going to go together really, really nicely. Another thing is, I really like the look of those stainless steel panels on the inside of the wheel wells. Yes, they're going to be a nightmare to get clean when you get mud up there, but you know what? I'm not going to do that much mud crawling with this rig anyway. I think it's going to look awesome. So let's get the next one on. Okay, so I'm all done doing this side, and the end product is a pretty cool finish off. It looks awesome, everything sits in its place, and it's nice and flush. Now, because of running the LCG chassis on the K10, I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna have to do some trimming for the shocks to fit. And that might be quite complicated, especially with these metal plates. But I'm sure it's nothing that the little Drommel won't be able to handle. So I'm gonna do the other one off camera, and then of course we will try and get them onto the truck, and I'll show you exactly where I'm gonna have to trim to get it on if you're running the LCG chassis from Injora. Okay, so now that we've got them both done, we can get the body off and we can try and get them fitted. So let's get that off. Okay, so let's grab one of these and let's see where we're gonna have to trim to fit these shocks, because as I did lots of testing and this was my perfect setup. I really like the way it's performing right now. I could even drop the front one back one more hole and it might even climb better. But it's been doing really, really well on hill climbs, downhills, side hilling. Overall, it has been really good with this setup, so I don't really want to mess with it. I'm just going to take this battery tray out so I can get a better fitment of this side piece to make sure I get exactly the right location and trim in the right place. So let's get that off. Now that I can work without that battery tray in the way and lining up my two front holes, I'm going to check exactly where I need to trim. Okay, so I've kind of just scraped exactly where I'm going to cut out, but you get the idea. I'm going to have to take this section right out, and I'm going to have to take this section right out for it to fit on there. So I'm going to go outside to my Drommel and I'm going to go and get that cut out, and I'll be right back and I'll let you know how easy it was with the Drommel. Okay, so as you can see, I've done all the grinding I needed to do, and I have taken quite a bit. I did lose 2 screws and 2 screws on this side, but the plate still seems to be fine. I grinded it in a manner that it actually folded it over the plastic. So in a way, it's actually not going to come off at all. It's nice and stuck. There's not going to be any vibrating noises from it. So I'm quite happy with the end product. And in my opinion, it doesn't look bad, and you won't really notice it once it's on the truck. So let's get this thing and let's see if it actually fits now. So there, yeah, looks like I'll have absolutely no issues getting this in place. So let's start getting all these screws out so we can get the inner fender fitted. Let's start right here on the back on the bumper. Okay, so as we can see, that was a nice tight fit. Even on the LCG chassis, I had a little bit of bending to do over here, but it's sitting nice and flush. You've got the 2 screws here, but they're not actually catching. I just carved a little bit of it away, and you can see it's sitting really, really nicely. Now, as you can see, it gives it that different look with that stainless steel plate up there. I'm gonna quickly get the other side on, and the quickest way I know how to do that is like this. And as you can see, that was definitely the quickest way to get it on. Now, before we put those lights in, let's see if the body fits on with these inner fenders. Well, that's it. It seems to sit on there really nicely, and I must say those stainless steel plates really give it an awesome finish off. So, let's move on to the last stage. Let's get those rock crawling lights into those inner fenders. Let's grab our lights. Let's grab our light buckets. And of course the hardware we're going to need to fit it and the lenses. So as you can see, you get these little lenses, and I'm assuming you're going to have to stick this in here, and this is just going to slide inside there, I believe. And then all we've got to do is screw it on over there. Okay, so now that I've got all the lights in place, it's time to get some zip ties and get this tidied up. Okay, so I'm going to have to use a bit of a wider spacer to make up for the space because of those inner fenders. Okay, so I got the wiring tidied up. Now it's time to test it. So let's get a battery in here. Okay, so let's plug the battery in. Okay, and we're gonna plug it in on these 2 poles on this side. There you are. Okay, so all 4 lights are working, but in my opinion, they are not very bright. So we'll test it. We're going to take it out this evening. We'll go and give it a test around the backyard course, but I think those LED lights are quite dull. Okay, so all the lights are working. The installation went relatively easy. The hardest part was trying to grind out where the shocks went because of the LCG chassis. So if you were fitting this to an original chassis, I would say it would be quite easy. But you can see the finish off with those stainless steel plates are really awesome, and I think it's time we get out and go and see what this thing looks like out on the backyard course. It's not really dark outside, but hopefully it'll be dark enough for us to notice the crawling lights and everything else. So let's get out, let's go and see what this thing looks like in the real world with all these cool accessories. All I've got left to say is if you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to like, share and comment, and of course subscribe if you haven't. None of it costs anything, and it really helps my little channel get out there to bring more content like this to all of you. So for now, I'm going to leave you guys with some running footage, and I'll catch you all on the next one.